My little part-time good job just called me and told me, hey, you got a bill. You need to pay it. So I was waiting until they said something. And see, when did I have it done? I had it done Thursday or Friday, and then I worked Monday and Tuesday, and the guy that wrote it up wasn't there. So he come back to work, and then today they just told me, they said they'd generate a bill, but there was so much going on because we went to do my wife's cell phone, her screen protector in Greenville, and then went to eat and went this, and then I had to work the weekend. So my old boss texted me and said, hey, you owe us a bill. So I tried to call, and they don't answer the phone. I really don't want to ride all the way up there, but I have to keep calling, and hopefully they'll take the bill over the phone. It's like $22. So I want to pay the bill. And my wife's been sick all day, sugar bottomed out already, had to go get orange juice, and she's very susceptible to things. So, I hated to quit my little job, but, it was only like $13 an hour, which wasn't bad, but then, the insurance is going to be high. And I said, well, when do we get a raise? My second week. And they said, you don't get a raise. So I think you get paid by position. The mechanics, they told me, guy been there a few weeks longer than me, he said once they pass a test, they'll get a raise, and then they'll get another raise. So they get like 2 raises within a couple months. And we don't get a raise for forever because I guess our job's not deemed as necessary. But I got some little health issues and trying to watch my sugar, watch what I eat. And I couldn't work production back in November 2023. And when your body starts going down, you're like, man, it really is a wake-up call that we're mortal and we're not immortal, And a young guy, my weekend job, I was going down the steps, hobbling down. He wants to jump over my head like Frogger. It's all metal, concrete. He tells me, you can jump off right there. I said, I'd jump off right there. Even though it's like 5-6 feet. I might break my back and die. He's young. He don't have any concept of what it is to get old, where you start having nerve damage. So I'm got some coffee in there, brewed the coffee, and I'm watching this thing called 60 Days, and they have 7 participants. I only got 3 more episodes of first season. I think it's only going to be 1 season. They might have 7 more people, but there's a jail in Indiana, and they had 7 people, and they acted like they had false charges. They changed their last name, and they put in general population, but it's not a prison, but it's a jail. So it has some prison aspects, but it's a little bit more dramatic than Orange is the New Black, But I don't know. Some of the camera angles they got in certain situations are so clear. And you're like, why would they be saying that out in the open? So I don't know if the cameras are that good or if some of it's kind of fake, But if these guys are in prison, they're volunteered for 60 days. And if they get caught up in a situation that's a criminal offense, they could get a record and do jail time while they're in prison, and they're not even supposed to be arrested. So that's kind of wild. But yeah, poor little wife still in bed. She's been in all day, kind of hot. I want to get out here and try to cut the grass, but I want to tear the lawnmower blade up after it costs so much to fix it. And I'm looking for like a little job. There's 2 jobs I thought about putting in for. I didn't put in for them because you got to put all your information back in. But I might go. One's like a food inspector, and another one's doing like paperwork at a prison. But the older you get, the harder it is to get a job. Nobody's hired me for administrative. And another guy told me to look up another company. But I don't want to work 7 days if I could help it. But the money was good. Maybe, then I could treat myself. Who knows? Sitting at home all day today, feel like I need to do something, I've just walking around the house, going in there, getting coffee, checking on my wife. I've got almost 1,000 steps in. I'd like to do at least 4,000 in a day. So maybe might get out here and cut some grass. I just don't know exactly where everything that's in the yard is bad, but it needs to be cut. But just sharing that, and he called me like twice, texted me and all, and I had my phone off because it was like an omen, because there was bad traffic the day I quit. It was the last day of the pay period, and I was already upset about not getting a raise. And then they put us in a different area, like a sauna, told us we couldn't sit down. I can't stand up long periods of time, without it hurting or I'm wobbling. So the walking was good for me. So I'd like to continue to walk at least 4,000 steps a day. But then they said we had to look busy, and you go down to the shop. Some of them guys, when they had nothing to do, they just stand around doing nothing. And then, and then you need more money. I was walking 15,000 steps a day on average, 8-hour days. You got an hour lunch, so it's like 9-hour days. Not too long to get there, about 35 minutes. So say 10 and a half hours a day, plus the weekend, 7 days a week. And then my little weekend job, which is really like surreal. Sometimes Saturdays, it's real noisy and busy till about 2 o'clock, depending on when the guys clean up the mill. But on Sundays, you're just there and you're like, you had to stay awake. But it's peaceful, unless it's hot, mosquitoes biting you or something like that. There's an airport nearby, so every now and then, plane will fly over and the birds, or depending on where you're at. And I put my phone, and I had YouTube on, and I was streaming like some rock and roll, kind of light, just to kind of, jam out while the guys are working on the welding and stuff. So it's a relaxing job, even though it takes my whole weekend. But it's a good job that I can do when I couldn't do anything. So I really like it. But yeah, I got to call, pay my bill. Really don't want to ride up there and do it. And I still got to turn in my slips for my screen protectors on my iPhone. Hadn't done that yet. But we went to Greenville, and it's a good ride. I don't know, my wife can't hardly make it, but that burger and Easley was worth it. If I need a screen protector, you go pay the same price, $40. They got it in the system, and they'll replace it by your phone number. You don't have to worry about mailing in your receipt, registered online, and waiting for everything to come in the mail, and then go back up to the place and do it. They do it right there in the phone. The Apple Store needs to take note and do that. They need to have them in the store. You pay for them, register it. They need to do it right there. It is such an inconvenience to mail that in, especially when I bought 4 of them, and I hadn't registered either of them. But I bought 5 really, because I bought one for my wife, but her phone is pretty now. But yeah, wasn't thinking I was going to hear anything. And I worked exactly 3 weeks. But thinking about doing maybe DoorDash a couple of hours. And then, my wife, she needs a lot of moral support. And she was mad because I was up her butt all the time. You know how it is if anybody's retired. And I was just up her butt and driving her crazy because my mind's constantly going, and it just overwhelmed her. And she said, "You didn't go to work." And she was so ill because I was here all the time, and she wasn't really going anywhere. And so I tried to give her a little space. It's hard. I got to get something to do. I want to make me a trail, but then I thought about putting a fence around at the door so I could have me a walking trail that nothing would sneak up on me, like, animals or anything. They'd be able to jump, and probably snakes would go underneath the thing, but I didn't want to be walking and a bunch of dogs come up on me, or a bear. They've been sighted around here or it'd be cool to see deer as long as they didn't attack me. But yeah, man, you gotta pay for your oil change. And then I just ramble on about everything. But it's cool. It's cool. I'm meeting some people and meet all kind of people, you know, and the food inspector looked pretty good. They say, and all these jobs now, they got all these old people putting in for them, but they say, you know, you must be able to bend and have mobility and all that. And I'm like, man, they know I'm applying for this. And they even had a job they would take you to be a, what do you call it, a behavior technician. They would train you and everything. But they said, must be able to crouch, get low to the ground, be able to entertain small children. So, you know, I can sit in the chair and watch them, but I ain't going to be able to get down on the ground with them. You know, not now anyway. And that's less of a chance the longer I'm here. But it's hot outside. So it's nice to be home, find something to do, maybe make more YouTube videos, and appreciate you guys watching them. You know, and just flip it over, just show you how peaceful. See there? It's the woods. There's only a little strip of woods there, but they go all the way around the house. You know, we got a little spot out here in the hot. You see the grass is growing. I need to get those lawnmower blades to work. Maybe I could get out here and cut a little bit of grass while I'm letting my wife up finally. So yeah, need to go ahead and pause the video. Tomorrow I'm gonna try to pay my oil change bill. They gave me a good deal. At least I got a good deal while I was an employee. I got $22 for oil change. Not bad. And I need to make more YouTube because there's nothing on TV. I watched my 2 shows. I watched Star Trek Stranger New Worlds, which is before James T. Kirk, but it's modern. It has more high-tech devices in it to this day and age, but it's than the actual James T. Kirk show had. But it's, you know, it's a character they introduced that was disabled and to the dream world or whatever, where he was in a, they made him have a life, but you live through an illusion, which is real cool. You know, he could live the rest of his life in happiness, but it's the story of his ship. And other show, there might be one more episode. It's called Warrior, and it says on Warrior that it's from the writings of Bruce Lee. So I knew he was karate, you know, started sharing karate and all that, and just a little bit of stuff I heard about him, but I didn't know he wrote a bunch of stuff that was based, that they made TV shows out of. So it's pretty cool. It shows kind of the railroad and the Chinese immigrants that come for the railroad and how they built a city, and they had like their own little mobsters, and the brother is with one Chinese gang, and his sister is ruling the other one, and they're at odds with each other and come to peace at a certain time, and then they're against the they have weird words like call it the pond, or, you know, for the Americans, getting out of the pond. So they're trying to pass laws to get all the immigrant labor back out, and this is like 1800s time frame, but it's real good. It's a real good show. There's a lot of fighting in it, you know, and a lot of drama. Not too bad, but a little bit. But yeah, sorry about rambling on, but thank y'all for watching. And man, I've been up since 6 this morning, so I'm gonna try to stay awake. And I said, well, you know, if you're looking for a job, you don't need to sleep all day because they might call you. But I had so many people call me that wasn't trying to give me a job, like selling me insurance, you know, debt collectors. And you call them back, you get on the phone, hello, they just pause. I told my son, go ahead and go get some orange juice from my wife. I said, say hello. He said, hello. He said, hello. He said, hang up. So yeah, they just try to harass you there. There was one job I was going to do. It wasn't that much, but you had to call like 400 people. So they probably just call you, and as long as you hang up, they call somebody else, and they make 400 calls to get paid. I don't know what their percent of sales or production is, but you call all these people, nobody wants to talk to you. So at least you get your 400 calls in. You might not make your other matrix, but we're having fun. Thinking about next cruise I want to go on. Might do some DoorDash, order me a red card. So a buddy of mine does that. And who knows, could run into some opportunities, and it'll get me out of the house, walk to the customer, and then if I see some cool stuff, I can post it on YouTube. You know, I can go back, and I seen something when we went to do my wife's phone, which was real cool, but it was a real busy highway. They had a motorcycle for a mailbox. So, you know, it was at the back of it where you normally sit on it, and they had a mailbox mounted to it. So the mailman rides up, puts the mail in the motorcycle mailbox. So that was real cool. I wish I could have got a picture of that. But yeah, I'll let you go for now. Post this video and keep it going. And just try to enjoy every day we got left and enjoy while we're here. That's what it's all about. Y'all have a good one. Hope y'all doing good. And we'll talk to y'all later.